Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Are you looking for some budget-friendly food storage tips? It's a great idea to have a stockpile of food set aside for your family because we never know when there might be an emergency. It doesn't have to be an apocalypse. It could be as simple as a power outage. The water stops running. There's some kind of a storm, a weather-related event. Maybe someone in your family is sick and you can't go to the store, or you've had a job loss and money is short. Then you can open your pantry, feed your family, and go on living a normal life. Food storage and prepping is a type of lifestyle insurance to make sure that you have the things that you need. In an emergency, if you have the things you need, you don't need to rush out and try to figure out how to get those things. You have the things you need, which gives you the peace of mind to continue the way you're going and figure out what to do next. It gives you a sense of security that is a really wonderful thing to have. So what you want to do is make a strategy. Figure out how much money you have that you could set aside a little bit of extra food. If budgets are tight, it could be difficult, but it's usually something you can accomplish. You can set aside a few extra dollars every time you go to the grocery store. The first strategy should be to choose extra foods of the foods you eat every day or commonly so that you have a few of those extras as backups. Cans of chili, soup, fruit, vegetables, ravioli, cereal, crackers, peanut butter, instant mashed potatoes, instant muffin mixes. Things that aren't very expensive, are simple to cook, and maybe don't require any cooking at all in case there's a power outage. Things that you normally eat. If it's not something you normally eat and you like, it's a waste of money and space in your pantry to stockpile those items. So stick with easy foods that your family enjoys. Once you have an extra stockpile of those, then you might want to think about the bulk foods for long-term food storage, even if you can only pick up one at a time. These are great foods to store. Stored properly, they last nearly forever. Start with rice and beans. You can pick them up in a 1 or 2 pound bag. Sometimes you can find the beans in a bulk container and you can scoop out as many as you like. You can even buy them in huge bags, giving you extra food to feed your family. Choose as many or as few as you can afford or you care to have. Buy the amount that makes you feel like you have an ample supply. Then think about other long-lasting foods that are easy to prepare. Get some oatmeal and some pasta. Those are both dry foods. You only need to boil them with some water, and they can be very filling and they store very well in your pantry for many years. When Y2K was coming, I bought all kinds of pasta. When nothing happened, we threw up in the pantry and we enjoyed having pasta for 12 years. All of it still tasted fresh and fine. And that's the point about storing foods that you actually like. Stock up on long-lasting foods you actually eat, and then you can eat them. If you find a good deal on honey, buy some of that. Get as natural honey as you can find. Make sure it isn't processed, pasteurized, or it doesn't have any additional ingredients like corn syrup. It's a sweetener, but it also lasts nearly forever and has lots of potential uses in any long-term situation. Get a selection of spices. Even go to the Dollar Tree and find a large jar for only $1 per spice. Spices don't really go expired. They may lose some of their essence, so you just add more. If you're stockpiling rice, a nice addition might be soy sauce. Soy sauce is made from a vinegar base, and so it's one of the foods that lasts nearly forever. You can store it in your pantry and know that it will remain fresh for many years. If sugar is something you use, pick up a bag of sugar. These are some basic foods that can see you through all kinds of situations where you can keep your family fed. Salt is a good budget-friendly food storage item. We all actually need salt in our diet. There's just so much of it in processed food. Sometimes we forget that it's something, if you don't eat processed foods, you need to make sure you include it in your diet. Salt can be used also for things like gargling for sore throats and all kinds of uses just around your house for cleaning and maintenance. so salt is inexpensive and easy to stockpile. I store salt in jars. I've had the boxes of salt actually turn solid and become wasted because of humidity. And I've also seen in warm climates when pantry bugs got into the pantry when they actually also got into the salt. So you don't want to waste your food dollars by not storing it properly. Store your foods in proper containers that keep them airtight. Then you want to store them away in a cool, dry, and dark place in your pantry. First, stock your pantry with easy, shelf-stable foods that you can just open and eat, and then think about adding some of these longer-term foods that will keep you going in all kinds of situations. Food storage doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Just stick with the basics, buy the things your family will actually eat, and then rotate them. If nobody's going to eat rice, don't buy it. If nobody's going to eat pasta, don't get it. Choose the things that work for you. Somebody else's list is not the answer. There's no such thing as perfect food storage unless it's the foods that you choose to store and that your family will eat. Learn more at alaskagranny.com. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.